Ever notice how royalty never seems to worry about the bill? You've never seen a queen hesitate over buying a new scepter, wondering if she should have just kept the old one. There's a certain glorious, unapologetic assumption of worth that surrounds them. And yet so many of us, the true kings and queens of our own reality, walk through life as if we're budgeting for our own exile. We'll stare at a $10 coffee like it's a down payment on a castle, talking ourselves out of the smallest pleasures. This is the great, tragic comedy of the scarcity mindset. It's that little voice that whispers, "You can't afford that. You don't deserve it. Better save for a rainy day." And by constantly denying yourself, you're not being responsible. You're sending a powerful message to the universe that you are a person of lack. You're living in a mental ghetto, pinching pennies while your inner kingdom falls into disrepair. In this conversation, we're going to change that. We are going to stage a royal coup in your consciousness by uniting the profound wisdom of two incredible masters. We'll take the mystical blueprint of Neville Goddard, who taught that your entire world is simply your own consciousness pushed out, and we'll fuse it with the bold, audacious command of Reverend Ike, who demanded that you get out of the ghetto of your mind and start acting like the rich, divine being you already are. We're merging inner vision with outer action, because what you're about to discover is that the law of assumption requires a unified front. True, lasting prosperity isn't just a fleeting thought. It's an embodied feeling, an identity you wear. It's the state you achieve when you finally decide to treat yourself like the royalty you were always meant to be. So how do you actually do that? It begins by understanding the bizarre and frankly hilarious way your reality is cooked up. Think of your subconscious mind as a 5-star, infinitely powerful, but beautifully literal royal chef. This chef's only job is to prepare whatever meal you order with your dominant feelings and assumptions. The chef has no opinions. It doesn't care if you order champagne and caviar or if you order lukewarm dishwater with a side of worry. It just cooks. Now, most of us, operating from that deep-seated scarcity mindset, spend our days handing this cosmic chef a shopping list of anxieties. We give it expired coupons of self-denial. We hand it crumpled-up receipts from past failures and tell it to make a meal out of that. We are obsessively describing the recipe for poverty stew, complete with the garnish of, "I can't afford it." And the chef, being the loyal and impeccable servant it is, prepares it to perfection. Then we sit down to our steaming bowl of lack, look at our empty bank account, and wonder why life is serving us scraps. This is the mechanical secret Neville Goddard revealed. Your world is just the dish you ordered with your inner state. The people, the circumstances, the balance in your checking account, they are all just ingredients the chef had to use, because that's the order it received from you, the monarch. And this is where the magnificent Reverend Ike comes marching right into that mental kitchen. He would see you pointing at the peasant special on the menu of life, and he would boom with that glorious voice, "Get out of the ghetto of that thinking. You own the whole restaurant." Ike knew you had to stop identifying with the cheap items on the menu. You have to change your order. If this idea of firing yourself as a bad customer and taking over as the rightful owner of your own cosmic restaurant is sparking something in you, it would mean the world to me if you'd take a moment to like this video and subscribe. We're just getting to the good part. Changing your order isn't about yelling at the chef or fighting with reality. It's a delightful game of imagination. You simply decide on a new dish. Instead of feeling the familiar pang of "I can't," you close your eyes and generate the feeling of course I can." This is the art of living in the end. You don't focus on the empty plate. You feel the deep satisfaction of a wonderful meal already enjoyed. You revise the order from a place of lack to a quiet, royal assumption of abundance. You start treating yourself like the one who gets the best, because in this kingdom of yours, your wish is the chef's command. But here is where so many of you trip over your own royal robes. You do the inner work, you feel the feeling, you place the order for champagne and caviar, and then you open your eyes and go right back to behaving like you're waiting for a free cracker. You can't sit in the silence of your imagination feeling like $1,000,000, then walk out your front door like you're apologizing for taking up space on the sidewalk. That's sending mixed signals to the chef. The chef gets confused and just brings you a glass of expensive water. This is where Reverend Ike would grab you by the shoulders and give you a good, loving shake. He knew that your external attitude, your self-image, is the uniform you wear that tells the world who you are. And you've been walking around in a pauper's rags for far too long. You have to start acting the part. Now. Not when the money shows up. The money shows up because you started acting the part. Stop shuffling into a room like you're hoping no one notices you. Your feet should not be whispering, they should be announcing your arrival. Lift your chin. Pull your shoulders back. Walk into that grocery store, that bank, that job interview, like you own the building and are simply there to grace the commoners with your magnificent presence. Don't look at a price tag and have a small, internal funeral for your bank account. Look at it with a cool, detached curiosity. The only question is this item worthy of me? Not, is my little pile of money worthy of this item? You have to get out of the ghetto of your posture, the ghetto of your speech. Stop talking about how broke you are. Stop bonding with people over how you can't afford things. That's a poverty party, and you are no longer on the guest list. When someone asks how you are, the answer is absolutely wonderful, never better, or fabulous, even if your car just broke down. Why? Because you're not reporting the news of your circumstances. You are declaring the truth of your being. What's the one poverty habit you've been clinging to like it's a winning lottery ticket? Tell me in the comments. Is it saving the good towels for guests who never come? Is it reusing a tea bag until it's just hot water with a sad memory of tea? Let's laugh about it and let it go. This isn't about being arrogant. This is about congruence. It's about making your outside match your inside. Every time you stand up straight, you are sending a jolt of "I am worthy" to your subconscious. Every time you buy the slightly more expensive coffee, just because you want it, you are casting a vote for your own abundance. You are dressing the part, walking the part, and talking the part of the person you have already decided to be in your imagination. You are cultivating your spiritual wealth, and when you do that, the material world has no choice but to rush in and redecorate your life to match your new, royal interior. And now we arrive at the most treacherous part of the journey, the part where the newly crowned monarch of the mind gets their first big reality check. You've done the inner work. You have walked into rooms with your shoulders back. You bought the expensive coffee. You felt, for a glorious afternoon, absolutely royal. Then you get home, a little giddy with your new power, and you do the one thing guaranteed to send you right back to the mental slums. You check. Oh, you know what I mean. You whip out your phone to look at your banking app. The balance is, of course, exactly the same. But your mind, now in a slight panic, thinks, maybe it just needs a minute to update. 10 minutes later, you check again. Nothing. You close the app and reopen it, just in case it was stuck. You refresh the page so many times you're in danger of rubbing a hole in the screen. This is the moment of the great wobble. This is where you trade your crown for a calculator and start doubting the entire kingdom. This is the point where persistence becomes your single most valuable asset. This is where you must practice the art of denying the senses. Neville called it living in the end. Reverend Ike would have called it refusing to look at the evidence of the ghetto. Your senses will scream at you that nothing has changed. The bills are still there. The bank account number is the same. Friends and family are still talking the same old language of lack. And your job, your one and only job as sovereign of your reality, is to look at all of it, give a slight, unimpressed royal nod, and say, "How quaint." That's the old news. Your new identity is a seed you've just planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. What you are doing by constantly checking for outer results is behaving like a frantic gardener who digs up his seed every 5 minutes to see if it's sprouting. You're killing it with your anxiety. You are introducing sunlight and air to a process that must happen in the dark, in faith, underground. The chef has received your order for the royal feast, but you keep running to the kitchen door, banging on it and demanding a status update. Let the chef cook. This gap in time is not a punishment. It is not a sign that you have failed. It is a divine buffer. It is a test of your loyalty to the new state. Are you really a king? Or are you just a peasant playing dress-up for a day? The universe is asking, are you sure? And every time you ignore the facts of your old reality and persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are answering with a resounding yes. So put the phone down. Stop digging up the seed. Your only task now is to maintain your royal posture. The kingdom is being redecorated to match its new ruler. Have the grace to let the staff do their work. So how do we practice this radical loyalty to our unseen kingdom? How do we build the muscle of faith while the old world clamors for our attention? We do it by fusing the inner vision of Neville with the outer command of Reverend Ike. Neville gave you the royal map to your subconscious mind. Ike gave you the marching orders. Now let's put it all together in one powerful daily ritual. This is your secret weapon. We'll call it the Royal Decree. Once a day, find a few quiet moments. Close your eyes. I don't want you to just visualize stacks of money. I want you to feel the state of being the person who has it. Feel the delicious relief of all bills being paid. Feel the easy, relaxed posture you'd have if you knew your bank account was always full. Feel the fabric of a fine coat on your shoulders, or the solid weight of a key to a beautiful home in your hand. Breathe in the feeling of absolute financial freedom. Saturate yourself in it until it feels more real than your current reality. This is you placing your order with the chef. Now open your eyes. But here's the crucial next step. Do not let that feeling evaporate. Carry it out of the chair with you. Let it straighten your spine. Let it lift your chin. Now immediately go and perform one small, tangible act that affirms this new state. It doesn't have to be expensive. Use the special occasion soap. Wear the nice watch you've been saving. Buy the slightly better brand of tea. This small act is your physical signature on the Royal Decree, telling the world you are serious. This exercise is your new mental diet. You are feeding your subconscious a new self-concept. But be warned, once you place the order and sign the decree, you must not commit what Neville called a, quote, mental abortion. Every time you check your bank account for proof or look for outside validation, you are rushing the process and signaling doubt. You are telling the universe you don't trust its timing. Your decree has been issued. The kingdom is responding. Now simply walk in your new royal identity and let the feast be prepared. So this is it. The great secret isn't a secret at all. It's a decision. The decision to stop begging for scraps from the table of life and to finally take your seat at its head. You are not a subject in your reality. You are its sole sovereign. Everything you have experienced, you have commanded into being through your own consciousness. The power was never out there. It has always been you. You are the cause, the king, the operant power. So I want to leave you with the only affirmation you will ever need. It is the key that unlocks every door. Feel it in your bones. I am so wealthy. I am the source of the wealth. If you are ready to master this unified law of being and doing, to finally live the life you have, until now, only dared to imagine, then subscribe to this channel. We are building a kingdom of conscious creators here, and your throne is waiting. Now go out there and act like it. The world is your mirror, not your mother. It can only give you what you show it, so stop asking for an allowance and start signing the checks. I am Wealth Mindset.